excited. It is such an honor to be here tonight. And I really am thrilled to be in a room with so many people who are inspirational to their communities, to the people at their table, and who are doing so many good things in so many different ways. And when you talk about the honorees tonight, and you will have a chance to meet them shortly, you will see leadership, as is pointed out, in a lot of different ways. And you can define leadership by naming a lot of different qualities. And you can practice leadership doing a lot of different things. But I think there's one question that will help you get on the path of knowing whether you are doing it right or building your brand as a business and a leader. When you start getting asked the question, where have you been? I used to hate that question, particularly as a young reporter in the locker room, as the female reporter in the locker room. And it doesn't matter how nice the question was asked, because it could be asked like this: Jen, where have you been? And it would still make me cringe. And it could be asked by Russell Wilson, Cam Chancellor, Robinson Cano, Nelson Cruz, Felix Hernandez. It didn't matter. I hated the question. Because I never wanted to stand out. I wanted to fly under the radar. I didn't want to cause waves. I just wanted to fit in. And standing out and having people ask about my whereabouts, I don't care what their intentions, didn't feel like I was fitting in. After nearly 20 years in sports broadcasting, working with 2 professional teams in town, and running my own business, there are time constraints that don't allow me to be at every single practice. And sometimes I miss a team flight, and I will be greeted with the question, where have you been? When I get to a game on Sunday morning. And for many years, when I tried to avoid that question, and I would go to great lengths to avoid that question, I now understand that that question is the greatest compliment that I could ever get. I would so much rather hear that question than hear, gosh, you've got great hustle. And if anybody saw me run after Sebastian Janikowski 52 yards across the field and you wonder why I go to the gym in the morning, that is why. And Sebastian and I are the same age, and he totally appreciated that Sunday after. I would rather be asked, where have you been, than have somebody say, you are the hardest working woman I know. I'd rather be asked that question than have somebody say, gosh, I don't know how you do it, because I could never keep up the schedule you do. And for as much as those comments feed my ego, and it's what I thought I always wanted to hear from people, you know what somebody's actually saying when they ask, where have you been? They're saying, I miss you. And out of all of the things that I have learned in my career as a broadcaster and as a business owner, making yourself known to the point where somebody misses when you're not there is quite possibly the #1 key to success. It is the #1 way that you are a leader as a person in your industry and of a company. It is why when I speak to audiences, the direction I give them is this. You need to be seen in a space to the point people don't remember it without you. I'm going to say that one more time. You need to be seen in a space to the point that people don't remember it without you. You need people to see you every single day, so that when you are not at an event, when you are not at a dinner, when you are not at work, when you are not out networking or available on social media, however you get your message out, somebody goes, Where have you been? As a young broadcaster, my biggest concern was not rising up the ranks. I knew that that was going to be a challenge, and I just kind of figured that I would kind of just figure it out as I went along. And the question that I asked most often of my mentors was, how do I get taken seriously? I mean, look, you can go and figure out how old I am, and go ahead and do that, but just know this, that when I went to school, there weren't that many women doing what I'm doing. And it was very common to be told that I was hired to wear short skirts and answer the doors, and all I wanted to do was to be taken seriously, and nobody could give me a straight answer. And my mentor would say, it's okay, just show up and you'll be fine. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't actually work. What is it that I need to do? What's the one thing I need to say? And I can say definitively, looking back 20 years ago, there is not one single conversation that makes any bit of difference in my credibility or my reputation. What does make a difference is having a single conversation every single day with the same people. And it's a conversation that starts with, hi, how you doing? What's new? It's good to see ya. And going back and investing time into people so that there's a relationship that's built. And what happens when you commit to doing that every day and every week with the people that you work with, they will see that you're not going anywhere. I am quite certain that there were many people who wished that I would go away. And 20 years later, I ain't going anywhere. And so they figure out they better take me seriously. But more importantly, and for all of you who are business owners or who support business owners, this is what you need to know. That the time that you spend, where you are grinding, where you don't know if people notice, where you can't figure out why you keep doing what you're doing. When you show your staying power, when you show that you're not going anywhere, as a business owner, as an employee, as a member of the community, people start to trust that they can expect you in their lives. And it makes them so much more appreciative of you and so much more willing to help and be your advocate and to be your mentor and to be your sponsor and to help the next generation of leaders and business owners grow. I know that the honorees tonight understand what it is that I'm saying, because not a single one of them has less than 10 years of business experience. There is a lot of staying power that's going to be on the stage. They are a force to be reckoned with. And here's the thing that everybody in the room needs to know, regardless as to the industry that you're in. When you take the time to be consistent, to show up, to just have that conversation that you didn't think was going to resonate or matter. When you build that relationship and you are just you can't help but be noticed. It didn't matter that I wanted to fly under the radar. It didn't matter that I didn't want people to know that I was different in the locker room. They figured it out, but it's not because I was the woman in the room. It's because I took the time to develop the relationships. And out of all of the lessons that the athletes have taught me, and there are any number of them, and there are any number of mistakes I have made as a business owner that I will continue to make and get better from. It's not about the superhero effort that you put forward to save the day. You being known in a space doesn't come down to you being superhuman at your to-do list every single day. It is about you being you, your rock star self, your rock star skills. When you show up like that every day, I guarantee You will be missed when you are not in your space.